Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read S6 6019 Arthur Makes the Team. Chapter 1. Buster and Arthur were walking along the sidewalk with their baseball gloves. As they walked, they tossed the ball back and forth. So do you think you will be good at baseball? Buster asked. Arthur shrugged. I hope so. He said he didn't want to admit to being nervous. He hadn't played last year, like some of the other kids. Did you learn a lot last year? He asked. Buster laughed. Did I? Let me show you. Run out for a long catch. Arthur trotted past the tree. Buster waved him on. Father, father. Okay, stand there. Are you ready? See if you can catch the famous Buster ball. Ready? He held up his glove. Buster threw the ball as hard as he could, but instead of going toward Arthur, the ball shot up into a tree. It bounced around in the branches. I've got it, said Arthur, circling underneath. The ball bounced down off one branch, then another, before rolling onto a roof. I've got it, said Arthur, following the ball's every move. The ball rolled down the roof and into the gutter. It shot out the bottom of the downspout, passed between Arthur's legs, and rolled into a storm drain. Oops, said Arthur. I guess I don't have it after all. Buster looked down the drain. He sighed. I lose more balls that way. That was a pretty amazing throw, said Arthur. And you learned that in just one season? I sure did. I sure did. Don't worry, you'll catch on quickly. Just think, you're standing out there in the middle of the field. There's no one around. No one around, said Arthur. No place to hide, said Buster. No place to hide. At the crack of the bat, the ball is headed your way. Everyone is staring, watching your every move. My every move, said Arthur. Of course. And not just your teammate, the other team is watching too, and the crowd in the stands, especially your family, my family, Buster nodded, your parents, grandparents, sister, everybody comes to the game. Arthur sighed. Let me get this straight. I'm all alone in the middle of the field, and the whole world is watching whenever the ball comes to me. Pretty exciting, huh? Said Buster. I guess, said Arthur. Exciting wasn't actually the word he had in mind. And don't forget betting, said Buster. No, I don't want to do that. Buster crouched down in a betting stance. It's just you and the pitcher, nothing else matters. You raise your bat. Ready, waiting, the pitcher blazes in. You can feel the hit as the ball passes by. Arthur swallowed. You feel the hit? Well, maybe not, Buster admitted. But it's a tense moment because everyone is watching. Exactly, the umpire calls a strike, but that's okay. It wasn't your pitch, but now you stand in. Stand in, said Arthur. It's another fastball. But this time you swing the ball streaks like a rocket. It's a home run. You circle the bases to the cheers of the crowd. Just like that, said Arthur. Well, not every time, but it could happen if you're lucky, Arthur sighed. He didn't know if that would happen to him, but it was nice to think about. Chapter 2. At the ball field, a bunch of kids were huddled around the bulletin board looking at the team rosters. I found my name, said Buster. Let's see. Francine, Brain, Binky, Arthur. Yes, we're all on the Eagles together. This is going to be a great team. I can't wait to start pitching. Hey, I want to pitch, said Francine. So do I, said the Brain. How will we choose? Asked Buster. Don't worry. The coach will decide. But Francine, said the Brain, your father is the coach. She smiled. Funny how these things work out. How what things work out? Asked her father, coming up to join them. He had on his official Eagles hat and T-shirt. Nothing, Daddy, said Francine, smiling at him. I think I'm gonna be sick, whispered Buster. I think you'll have company, the Brain whispered back. The whole team, including Sue Ellen, Speedy, Fawn, and Alex, sat down in the grass. I'm glad everyone could be here for our first practice, said the coach. As most of you know, I'm Oliver Frensky, Francis' dad. Francine gave Buster a big smile. Now our motto is going to be teamwork, the coach went on. If you have a favorite position, you can start with that. But you'd all be moving around. Who is going to be our first pitcher? Buster, Francine, and the Brain all raised their hand. Excellent. We have a whole step. Buster, why don't you go first? But Francine sputtered. You'll get your turn, her father reassured her. Everyone else took a position. Arthur ended up in right field. Nobody else seemed to want to be there. Heads up, everyone. Heads up, everyone, said the coach, waiting with the bat at home plate. Go ahead, Buster. Buster prepared to pitch. He twirled his arm around, shot out his leg, and threw as hard as he could. Coach Frensky blinked. Where did the ball go? The Buster wasn't sure. He was never sure with the Buster ball. A moment later, the ball came down and hit him on the head. Are you all right, Buster? Asked the coach. Buster nodded. Good, try again, but this time ease up a little. Don't wear your arm out the first day. Buster nodded. Buster nodded. He pitched again, and the ball sailed right over the plate. Coach lined the drive to Sue-Ellen at third base. After a few more pitches, it was Francine's turn. Her first pitches were high and outside. Her father fouled them off. Nice energy, he said. Remember now, right over the plate. Francine's next pitches were better. Her father batted them around the field. Time for my fastball, thought Francine. She gripped the ball firmly and threw. The ball sailed high over everything. Her father blinked even the backstop. Well, that was certainly over the plate. Way over, said Binky. Coach cleared his throat. All right, Francine, let's give someone else a chance. Brain took to the mound. Ready? Asked the coach. In a moment, said the Brain. He licked his finger, held it up to test the wind direction. Then he began scraping the mound with his sneaker. Is everything all right? Asked the coach. Oh, yes. The proper footing is very important. When he was finally ready, the Brain made his first careful pitch. Coach Frensky hit a grounder to shortstop. The Brain was pleased. He checked the wind and his footing again. He did that before every pitch, so he didn't get many in. The last ball went to right field. It was a deep pop fly. Epgardy, said Arthur. Moving backward, he leaped at what he thought was the right moment and missed. The ball came down behind him. Almost, Arthur, that was a very graceful leap. Graceful? Arthur didn't feel graceful. He could feel his face getting red. He knew everyone was looking at him. It was starting to look like the season would be a long one. Chapter 3. Arthur stood in front of his bedroom mirror, tossing a ball up and down in his mitt. His father stopped in the hall to watch him. Ready for your next practice, Arthur? He asked. Arthur dropped the ball. Oh, yeah. Mr. Reed stepped into the room. Is everything okay? I guess. Practices have been hard. Really? Tell me about them. I'm not very comfortable yet. The other day I was playing second base. I fielded a sharp grounder, but I couldn't get it out of my glove. It was like the ball was stuck with the glue. What did you do? His father asked. I took off the glove and threw it to the shortstop, who was covering the bag. Was the throw in time? Arthur sighed. The glove was, but the ball came out along the way and dribbled into the outfield. The runner ended up at third base. What did the coach say? Asked Mr. Reed. He said I was ingenious, very creative. He uses words like that a lot when I make a play. Mr. Reed sat down on the bed. The coach has a good eye, Arthur. You just need to give it a little time. Arthur wasn't so sure. Everyone else just seems so far ahead of me. And I feel funny asking for help about stuff that everybody else knows already. Yes, well, most of them played last year and you didn't. Having a head start makes a difference. I had kind of the same thing happen to me. You did? His father nodded. It was when I first got interested in cooking. Of course, I didn't know I would end up as a caterer. I just liked experimenting with food. I was sick the first week and missed the class where the teacher explained how all the equipment worked. The next week, I was too shy to ask questions. I just pretended I knew as much as everyone else. Did it work? Asked Arthur. His father smiled for a few minutes, but then we had to make salad dressing in a blender. Everyone else knew that the lid needed to be locked a certain way. I didn't, so when I turned it on, Arthur gasped. You guessed it. The salad dressing ended up on everything. and everyone else. It was quite a mess. Did you get in trouble? His father made a face. For a moment, I thought my life was over. The teacher was covered in goop. He shook his fist at me, and goop dropped off his hand onto the floor. Arthur's mouth dropped open. The room was perfectly still. And then he started to laugh. This, he said, is a good example of what I was talking about last week. Arthur sighed. So you survived. Exactly. But I never tried to pretend I knew what I was doing again. And you shouldn't either. Don't be afraid to ask for help or advice. You'll catch up soon enough. Chapter 4. Coach Fransky was standing behind the backstop, watching his team warm up. Excuse me, coach. The coach turned. I'm Buster's mother, Bitsy. Nice to meet you. Buster is a fine boy, a real spark plug. That's very nice to hear. I was just wondering, is the ball very hard? Well, no harder than any ball. I see. I've just been wondering, what if it hits Buster? Well, there's always some risk, but Buster is very quick, I'm sure. Oh, and the baseball hats, are they made of wool? I think Buster is allergic to wool. If he's scratching, I don't think he'll be playing his best. We'll watch for scratching. Coach Fransky glanced at the bleachers. Now, I would recommend you find a seat. Bitchy, you don't want all the good ones to be taken. Do the seats often fill up for practice? Coach Fransky hesitated. You never know, he said. On the field, Arthur and Buster were throwing to coach each other. As Francine approached, Buster held up an imaginary microphone in front of her mouth. Excuse me, slugger? Buster here for Action News. Thank you. We'll top your record of 49 sky balls today. Very funny, said Francine. At least my throws go over the plate. Take it easy, said Arthur. You're both on the same team, remember? Stay out of this, Arthur, said Francine. You need to concentrate all your attention on holding on to the ball. Oh, yeah? Arthur put his hands on his hips, and the ball dropped out of his glove. Francine laughed and moved onto the field. You know what you need, Arthur? My never fail, always succeeds, 100% guarantee, secret good luck charm. He reached into his pocket and produced a shriveled carrot. Arthur made a face. You this and you can't miss, said Buster. He handed the carrot to Arthur. You're sure about this? Asked Arthur. 100% absolutely double sure guaranteed. Okay. And put it in his pocket. All during practice, Arthur fingered the good luck charm. But since no tough balls were hit to him, he couldn't be sure if it was working. When Francine came up to bat, he crouched down to be ready. Francine crushed the next pitch to deep right field. Arthur ran back, watching it the whole way. Watch the fans, Buster yelled. Arthur stopped short and looked up. The ball was coming down. He reached out to catch it. The ball bounded off his glove and went over the fence. Home run, shouted Francine rounding the base. Arthur frowned. Later, Arthur returned the carrot to Buster. Here, I think that it's broken. Maybe it's run out of luck. Then he walked away. Buster examined the carrot and shrugged. He took a bite and put the rest in his pocket. Chapter 5. After practice, Coach Fransky led the team to the Sugar Bowl. You've been working hard, he said. Time for a little reward. Arthur was the last in. Just beyond Buster, it was amazing to him that everyone else could be so happy and relaxed. Most of the kids had made the same kind of mistakes on the field that he had. Somehow, it didn't seem to bother them so much. A great practice deserves ice cream, said the coach. He went off to see about getting some tables pushed together. Are you prepared, Arthur? Francine asked. Arthur eyed her cautiously. What do you mean? An ice cream cone can be tricky. If you're not careful, you might drop it. A lot of the kids laughed. Don't listen to her, Arthur, said Buster. You're entitled to ice cream just as much as the rest of us. If you want it, though, I'll hold it for you. Thanks, Buster, said Arthur, I think. Once the orders were taken, everyone sat down. Arthur, Francine, Buster, Brian, and Binky were all at the same table. Francine was busy complaining. Our problem is betting, she said. We don't have good betting. Arthur had struck out twice that afternoon. He was swinging too soon, the coach had told him. I think we look pretty good, said Buster. With your eyesight? I'm not surprised. There's nothing wrong with my eyesight. Said Buster, I ate plenty of carrot. Arthur fiddled with his glasses. Sometimes it was hard to keep his eye on the ball. Some people, said Blinky, have to learn how to stop the ball. He pounded his chest. Even if you can't keep it in your glove, you keep it in front of you. Arthur looked down at his legs. Balls had passed through them so often, they felt like goalposts. If we concentrate on learning the fundamentals, our chances of winning will improve over time, I suppose. But they don't look too good right now. Well, said the brain, it would help if you stopped throwing the ball over Fun's head. I didn't do that. And she was standing too close anyway. Coach Funsky arrived at the table with 2 pitchers of soda. Hey, he said, frowning, I don't want to hear any talk like that. We are a team, remember? Everyone shut up. Coach Francisci surveyed the table. Where is Arthur? He asked. He was here a second ago. Said Buster probably went for napkins. Said Blinky. Look, said the brain. He pointed out the window. Arthur was slinking up the street. A line of drips from his ice cream cone trailed behind him. I guess he wasn't in the mood for talk, said Francine. I guess not, said the father, but he stood there thinking it over a long time. The end.